Damn, that's a because I have like literally disqualified somebody for. I think I talked about this before for not wanting to do full sexual acts. That made me look at her away, and it pushed her out of the realm of me like wanting to be with her because she held the sentiment like, oh, I'm gonna hold this until after marriage. And in my mind, I'm like, she not fully committed. So I can see how men could view it from a way where if they don't receive the sex or the things that they asking for beforehand, how would they even know if they're gonna get that after? But y'all both points are really, really valid. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a
It's
question, Marcus. How many women did do that for you and you didn't marry him?
mm,
They walked away with nothing
whoop, whoop,
but use
whoop, whoop.
vagina.
Marky Mark.
My Wi-Fi is
That was a good one.
cutting out. Can y'all hear me now?
I'm just saying, she walked away with her head up high. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? She gave you absolutely nothing.
You know, and it's interesting.
Through, and guess what? They still ain't get that ring.
Well, the flip side is she gave it up to somebody else because she didn't want the same thing to happen that happened with him.
She done got in her mind, made her all insecure.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest, that's a honest factor too.
Right.
That women go through.
Absolutely. But guess what? If I look back at things, I can live peacefully. No, I ain't get this nigga in my. He ain't deserve it. That's a key indicator. If he walk away from you because you won't have sex with him, that's a red flag in itself. I won't give you my body, so you gonna walk away from me. You wasn't mine. In the discussion, we wasn't meant to be together. Goodbye.
So here's the problem with that though. I know in theory you should be able to become a born again virgin and it'd be fine, right?
But no, I'm talking about people who are virgins. We're talking about
okay. Well, I think that's a whole different conversation, Shan. Well, if she's a virgin already, I do honestly, and that's not to say that if you make the decision to say, you know what, I'm tired of doing what I'm doing, and so now I'm going to make the decision to move differently. I honor that as well. I definitely honor that as well. And you can move in that regard. But when we were having the conversation, I wasn't necessarily assuming that you were talking about
all women.
That's okay. So for me, I was speaking from the perspective of being realistic in terms of what goes on today. And a lot of women are not having sex.
5-finger special to get off. Mm-hmm. I think that you should not be getting sex if you're not married. Period.
So before we get too far down, I don't know if I heard things a little differently than Miss Dean or Shan. Marcus, did you say virgins or born again virgins?
Born again virgins.
Okay,
I said
so
theoretically.
Conversation. Sorry, that's all. I just wanted to clarify. I heard born again virgins, and then we went on the virgin track.
Well, I think Shan has said maybe she just heard virgin, so I heard her say virgin. So that's why I was like, okay, that to me, I'm not gonna lie, I do think that's a little different.
I think that women should not be just giving out sex to these men because they blowing. Because at this point, we know you're lying. At this point, the internet has shown us that you're lying. We have too much information at our fingertips to know that you're lying. You know, before we
about what? About what?
Commitment. Where you want to take?
Also, but this is the thing.
Not you, Marcus. Like, we know you married. We know you married. We're not talking about you.
No, but I'm speaking for the men in general because. If you this is all right. So pre being a virgin or post being a virgin is a very different conversation because the argument that the men have been making is why are they having to do something at the previous? That's the whole argument about having a kid before you meet somebody and then him stepping in as the stepfather is the same argument. No, just follow my timeline. It's the same argument they're making about being a born again virgin. It's the same thing. KS was talking about that entire time when he was saying to require somebody to do more than the next man. Although your standards may have changed, that's going to be a hard sell for that man because he's going to feel it's devaluing him. Because at that point,
well, you get another man that values that.
Now listen, and you, how do you know you the man that I had sex with? Like, you may be a downgrade.
wait, I agree. Hold on.
I'm just saying, look at him, look at you.
Right. If you
step down.
If you go back to my previous,
you in general,
no,
I'm talking about in that way.
No, I know. Trust me, I know. So look, if you go back to my previous comment, like last week, when I was like,
that was arrogant as hell.
What are my standards?
What'd you talk about, AP?
Oh, I know you weren't talking about me.
Oh, cocky.
No.
I wasn't talking about you.
I didn't have a revelation. Hold on, y'all not gonna steal. I had a revelation this week. Y'all not gonna steal my revelation with the arrogance. Look, the chat can agree. I had a revelation this week, and I've worked on it. Right. So look, all I was saying. God damn, I lost my point. The two things are the same, right? It's devaluing the man. But if you rewind back to the previous conversation where I was talking about what your sexual market value is, I agreed that if I was in a position where in order to get the woman I wanted, I had to take her with something that I wouldn't like, she feels took her down a notch. To your point, Shan, I think all men agree with you on that. So if they could naturally only get a person that's an 8, you're a 10, you have a child, now that you move to an 8, they'll date you at that with the stepchild because that's a better deal than they could have got. That's perfect. The issue is the men are saying this is what they're saying. No, yeah, they saying they're not stepping down. They maintaining the number.
Well, maybe he's a 2.
That's possible. But
maybe a
unlikely.
2. He a 6 and he really a 2. She did step down. It's just he ain't on that level either. But look, check this out. and it's so funny because Fatty asked a question. When did I start being? Listen, I've always been picky about my vagina. Always. I messed up one time, and that was all I needed to do. But I ain't not. Look, one thing about me, and I'm on the internet saying, everybody ain't had a piece of this. Okay, it's always been nasty to me all my life.
What's been nasty?
Throwing vagina, like I've always been picky about sex. Always. I just do not feel like, even before the internet, people should have access to your body like that. So
I think that's the testosterone thing too. Because Mistaken that said she has a higher level of testosterone than you. So
right, but it's not even like, no, because I get aroused too. It's just discipline. It's like what I want for myself. I look at it as my body. These fingers do the job just fine. This one in particular.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that a lot of the women, a lot of the men that a lot of women respect.
Get me to the where I need to be 100%.
Yeah, I think it's real interesting that a lot of the men that the women respect, they were sleeping around with a bunch of women before they became the men that they are today. They have a very different perspective of women because they don't hold women the same way that a guy who hasn't really been with enough women, they don't have the same mentality about women. And I just think it's interesting. You mentioned Trill, you mentioned Marcus, you mentioned AP, you mentioned all of these men that you guys hold and respect in very high regard. But yeah, and even in Mistaken's own admission, she's literally done everything opposite of what you were supposed to do, but yet still got the rewards of what it was that she was looking for. So I actually agree with this one statement Mistaken said. It's going to require more than pussy for you to actually get the deal or the ring that you're asking for. Because like I said earlier, men are committing with their finances, with their lives, and with other things. They're just not as willing to enter into a union that they don't know anything about. Because
it's to you, Harrison. But do you not agree that because the vagina is so easily accessible, the value of it is being lowered?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that standpoint. But just like when Enos was talking earlier, she said it was right to do this. It was right to do this. We have absolute freedom to do whatever we want to do. And the only say that something is right is based upon a moral and spiritual standard. Everybody ain't moral. Everybody ain't spiritual. Everybody don't believe in God. So for you to sit here and say that it's right only from your perspective, like it's a short sighted thing. Not saying that I don't agree that it's right, because I am a religious, I am a moral person. So I agree with you because I'm on the same wavelength as far as spirituality or religion or faith or some society and morals. But overall, since we have the freedom to choose, this is the reason why we have the things that we have. And then also you got to add, you doing the right thing does not ensure you the results. But also, to Shan's point, if you limit the amount of damage that you're taking from these relationships, whether it's sex or choosing the wrong people, when you actually do get a chance and an opportunity to embark on the journey, you should hopefully have some things that don't weigh you down.